The Avigilon System Design tool aids you in selecting appropriate cameras, lenses, and storage appliances for your scenes. The design process involves 3 steps which are outlined below. This lesson overviews Step 1. It shows you how to access the System Design tool and select cameras in it. After completing this lesson, you'll be able to use the System Design tool to select appropriate cameras for a design. When selecting a camera for a scene, using the System Design tool helps make decisions easier. To access the System Design tool, access the Avigilon Partner Portal on the Avigilon website. Access the System Design tool by clicking the System Design tool tab, or you can access it at this website. It may be beneficial to bookmark this website. Enter the Design tool, read the terms and conditions, and accept them by clicking here. Note that the System Design tool is for estimation purposes only. To begin, let's look at the options in this screen. To start a new video surveillance design, click here. To start a new access control design, click here. To open an existing video surveillance or access control design, click here. Before starting on this screen, let's look at the toolbar. You can use the options anytime while using the System Design tool. Use this drop-down menu to start a new design, open a saved design that is in progress, or save a design. Click here to start over at any time. Use this drop-down menu to export a design in PDF or CSV format. Click here to generate the quote. After clicking this button, you will be required to type in either your Salesforce or your Partner Portal credentials. Upon entering the credential, you will be redirected to the quote generator. Click here to adjust tool default settings. When the dialog box loads, you have the option to adjust default general, camera, and scene settings. For general settings, you can set the default language and units of measurement. You can also set the default camera and server. This means that when you add a new camera or server to your system design, the newly added camera or server will be the default that you set here. Additionally, if you change these defaults in the middle of working on a design, the next camera or server you add will be the new default. You can set the default camera or server by using the drop-down lists or by entering the product number model into the fields. The fields automatically display only products which match the characters you enter. For camera settings, you can set the default flicker control and image quality. This means when you add a new camera to your system design, the newly added camera will automatically be set to these default flicker control and image quality settings. You can also set newly added cameras to be automatically added with wide dynamic range and HDSM smart codec technology enabled if these cameras support these technologies. For scene settings, you can set the default mounting height, target distance, and desired scene width. So when you add a new camera to your system design, the newly added camera will automatically be added with the default scene configurations that you set here. To restore tool default settings, click here. Then, click here to save this action. Select this icon to download a desktop version of the System Design tool. A desktop version allows you to work offline without an internet connection. Click here to contact a sales engineer. Click here to access copyright and legal information. The user interface has 2 sections. This section displays all of the cameras and servers, and this section is used for configuring these cameras and servers. Add cameras or servers in this section and then configure the settings of each camera or server over here. Instead of displaying cameras and servers as a list, you can select to display them on a map view. The map view better allows for designing complicated sites. It also allows for better visualization of the site, or a top-down view of the site, without having to use additional tools. In this demonstration, we will use the map view. Currently, no background map is loaded. To load or change a background map, click here. Note that you can only change the background map in the map view. When the dialog box opens, select the file to load and then click here. In this demonstration, we are loading this file. The background map loads. Notice a red line appears on the background map. Use the red line to set the scale. Drag the red anchors to fit the length of a known distance in the background map. Then, enter the actual length here in feet or meters. In this demonstration, we are setting the length at this value. Then, click here to apply the scale. The scale is applied. We are now ready to configure cameras on the background map. Note that you can zoom in and out of the background map using the scroll on your mouse. In this demonstration, we need to zoom in. Previously, you learned about gathering specific information on the scene to use in the tool. Now, you'll enter this specific information about each camera's view and then select the best camera model. To begin, click here. A camera is added to the background map, and the configuration section appears. Note that if you have not added a server, the tool automatically adds a server in addition to the camera. Move your mouse over the camera icon until it changes to a graphic pointer, and then left-click and drag the camera icon to the desired position. Adjust the field of view by clicking and dragging the anchors to the desired position. Notice the key in the corner of the window. The key gives information about the field of view for the selected camera. For example, green means the field of view is valid. Yellow indicates the field of view is not valid for the current camera. An area of blue within the field of view indicates the effective analytics area. Gray is a dead spot, meaning the camera has no coverage for the area in this color. This configuration section shows a cross-section of the camera's view that is calculated from the values entered above. When you enter information about the camera's view above, the cross-section adjusts accordingly. Here is where you enter necessary information about the scene, such as the mounting height, the target height, the distance to the target, and the scene width. Note that these values are set to the defaults defined in the settings menu. In this demonstration, we're entering these values. The view angle is calculated automatically as you enter the other measurements. If the selected camera is not appropriate for the entered values, you will receive a notice stating that the camera is not valid with the current scene requirements. You will need to either change the values in these fields or change the camera model. Change the camera model in this field either by using the drop-down list or by entering the product number directly in the field. Camera models displayed with this icon mean the camera models do not meet the scene requirements as defined. Mouse over the icon to obtain more information. You should usually select the camera with the lowest resolution that meets the scene requirements to preserve storage and bandwidth. In other words, select the valid camera with the lowest resolution that does not have the icon displayed next to it. However, as you previously learned, you will also need to consider form factor and lighting needs when selecting the camera. The camera model number includes the camera form factor and any lighting capabilities of the camera. For example, if you need a camera with wide dynamic range with light catcher, make sure the model number has a C after the megapixel amount. In this demonstration, we will select this camera model. Then, select the lens you desire, if applicable. Note that many camera models have only one built-in lens. If so, this menu provides lens information instead. The camera model that we chose in the demonstration has a built-in lens, so this menu does not display. If you're looking for cameras that can monitor at a certain resolution, ensure this checkbox is selected. Then, enter the number of pixels per unit that you need in this field. For example, if you need cameras for visual identification that need to monitor at least 45 pixels per foot, ensure the checkbox is selected and then enter 45 in the field. For a visual reference of how different minimum pixels per unit appear, see the documentation in the resources section of this course. Note that if you deselect this box, you are no longer checking against minimum pixels. You should have a good understanding of pixels on target if you choose to deselect this checkbox, or you may select a camera that is inappropriate for the scene requirements. If a camera model supports video analytics, this checkbox is automatically selected. The cross-section and the map shows the analytics area overlay. This means the camera will detect objects in the blue region. Deselecting the checkbox removes the blue overlay from the cross-section and the map. You can assign a name for the camera in this field. In this demonstration, we are assigning this name. To quickly calculate the amount of storage a given set of cameras of the same model and scene requirements will need, use this field in this configuration section rather than adding numerous cameras to the map. Click here to add another camera. To delete, duplicate, or change the server of the camera, move your mouse over the camera and right-click on your mouse. A menu displays. Select an option from the menu. Before using the System Design tool, you should have information about mounting height, target to distance, and scene width on hand. The user interface has two main sections. On the right is the configuration section. On the left is the list or map section. For better visualization, use the map view. Load a background map and add and position cameras on the map. Use the key for information on the field of view. The system notifies you if your cameras do not meet the scene requirements. Select appropriate cameras that do not have an icon listed next to them.